It was her second day under oath, but it felt like the first time anyone really heard her scream. Not with sound, but with the kind of silence that makes your ears ring. She said he raped her. Not in the beginning, but after. After the love died. After she'd already started over, after Alex Fine. The ghosts of the past weren't done. She mentioned Kid Cootie, a name that sparked fire, claimed the man she left behind couldn't stand it, said he destroyed Cootie's car out of spite. A vehicle turned into ash over jealousy. That wasn't a rumor, that was history repeating. Cootie already told the world the explosion was real. Cassie wept and the courtroom froze. The jury was locked in, frozen in place. And the accused? Still, like marble. His only tells were glances at the jury, calculated, controlled. But there were cracks in the stone, small ones. Signs flashed at his family. A kiss, a heart, humanity maybe. They showed 7 images, moments frozen in time. The jury saw, the court saw. But the outside world, shut out. A veil pulled tight. And now reporters are pushing back, filing motions, invoking rights, because secrets in shadow grow louder. The trial continues, but the echoes of this day won't fade anytime soon. Everything inside that courtroom felt controlled. Screens flipped on, the jury leaned in, and there it was. The content no one wants leaked. Videos, images, too dangerous to risk. They showed alleged victims, possibly escorts. If those made it to the public, anonymity would vanish. The legal teams, both sides, knew the stakes, and they agreed. Every juror watched closely. Those privacy screens showed everything they needed to see. Everyone knew why this part mattered. The freak-offs weren't tabloid fluff, they were key to the timeline, key to the story. This was the defense's moment. Their first real shot at dismantling Cassie's version. They brought receipts, old texts, some from 2007, back when her relationship with Combs first started. It wasn't aggressive, it was methodical. Because she's pregnant, every move had to be precise, no dramatics. So they let a female attorney handle the questioning. Her tone was gentle, almost complimentary. At one point she called Cassie beautiful, even charming. It caught people off guard. In the overflow room people chuckled, Cassie smiled. But it wasn't flattery for flattery's sake, it was calculated, keep things civil. Cassie gave vague answers, maybe, I think so, could be. No pressure followed, just a calm rhythm. The cross-exam didn't explode, it flowed. This thing's just getting started and already it's thick with secrets. A couple weeks in and the walls are sweating truth, but there's more. Always more. Witnesses waiting in the wings and evidence no one's laid eyes on yet. They know I was there. That the freak-offs happened. Cities blurred into each other. Different rooms, different faces. Sometimes I made the calls. Sometimes I didn't have a choice. But proving it was trafficking? That's a higher bar. They need to show force, show fear, show I wasn't in control, even when I looked like I was. I watched the jurors when I spoke. They didn't blink, not when I told them about the bed frame, about the blood, about needing stitches and a smile for the surgeon. Not when I told them about the bruises I tried to keep hidden from the world, from my own mother. And I told them about the drugs, I had to. I told them how I had to float above my own skin just to survive those nights. Ketamine, then opiates. Whatever could make the room blur out. And then I gave them the truth I tried to keep buried. That one night after it was all over, after the break, after the rape, I didn't want to go on. That death felt like the only thing quiet enough to offer peace. 2 kids, a husband. But I wanted to vanish. One step off the curb and into the dark. The only thing that kept me from it was him, the man I married. He pulled me back from the edge. I was ready to fall over. I tried to tell the story before anyone asked, started it in a book. My mother helped me put the pieces together. I handed the early draft to the man who made the wounds, thought maybe, just maybe, he'd understand, but he never read it. And when I asked him to keep it quiet, 30 million, he wouldn't give me a cent. That's when I sued. What no one knew until now, what I've kept locked in silence, was the number we settled on. 20 million, that was the price. Now, the questions come sharp. Cross-exam after cross-exam. They paused for lunch, but this isn't slowing. It'll run through today, and tomorrow, maybe longer. Once they're done cutting in, the other side gets their blade. Redirect. More time on the stand. And I'm already worn thin, heavy with life, counting weeks, close to the end. There's a clock ticking now. Not just courtroom hours, but my own body's countdown. What if it's not over before the baby comes? The judge doesn't want it to drag, but we're not in control. The defense is turning over old ground now, but deeper. The texts I talked about before, they're dragging out the entire story, not just moments. Pages of words trying to paint a bigger picture. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But I lived it all. The text messages say things that feel like distant echoes from another life. Words like queen and shine painted across screens, while reality felt like being dismantled piece by piece. There was love, yes, but it was twisted through power and fear. One message asked if I was menstruating. I said no, and now that thread is being pulled apart to suggest something different, that boundaries were respected. But memories live deeper than messages. Sometimes they contradict the evidence. That doesn't make them less true. Each side is masterful in its own right. Every word chosen like a weapon or a shield. I don't know who the jury believes. I don't know if they believe anyone. This trial is a storm and I'm in the center of it. I remember a party when I was barely 21. Las Vegas shimmered like a fantasy. Tommy was there, Brittany too. I floated through that space, numb. Those names belong to worlds so different from mine now, I don't expect to see them here. But others may come. Familiar faces, echoes from relationships I once had. Michael's already been mentioned. The past has a way of circling back when you least expect it. And through it all, I carry life inside me. Third child, my body working to bring something good into the world, while my mind relives the darkness. If I give birth before this ends, what happens to everything I've said? Does it pause, restart, disappear? I don't have the answers, only the weight of memory and the will to keep speaking,